We're breaking down Burnley versus Manchester United. It's Saturday, August 30th, 7 a.m. Good sign is that we got a game real close. We don't have to wait too long, sir. It's Wednesday. We play Saturday. Only 3 days. We have to hear the outrage in the English press about Ruben Amorim and everything. And before we can put a result on the board, it's game week 3. We're playing at home, the Fortress, Old Trafford, Theater of Dreams. It's on the kit. You should read it, sir. You can watch it in the United States on Peacock. Burnley, they came up. We should be beating them handedly, just like Grimsby.
Game week 3. We're like 5% of the way through the Premier League season. It's not even Labor Day yet. It's unbelievable. And the real thing is, sir, this game is not just a game because it's the game before international break. And the game before international break is so important because however you end that game week is how the tone is set for the next 2 weeks, as the transfer window will still continue outside of England. It's going to be live in Saudi Arabia, live in Turkey. And this is so important. It's so important to take the Grimsby taste out of our mouth. And it's so important to put a good winning taste in our mouth for those 2 weeks. Give the boys some joy. Because if you don't, we're going to be in fucking hell. Sorry.
I think we're already there, sir. Give us our weather for Burnley Saturday. It looks to be chance of rain.
Low 60s, chance of rain. They're playing at Old Trafford. The game's on Peacock. That's where you can watch. Also, American Red Devils are doing a live stream on YouTube. Let's get into Burnley, sir. Tell us about the Builders. They're not the Builders, but you and I have famously called them the Builders and their stadium turf Mordor, even though this one will be on Old Trafford.
Yeah, look, Burnley, great side. They're called the Clarets, but we call them Burnley the Builders because of the Lego objects in their logo. Their stadium is a riot. Turf Moor or Turf Mordor. We're used to them coming in, playing the low block, being extraordinarily stubborn. They were founded in 1882, and they were the first to become professional. They were paying their players when people thought that was very taboo back in the day. They have a long-standing rivalry with nearby club Blackburn Rovers, which they contest the East Lancashire Derby. Sir, Blackburn Rovers, they were a titan of the Premier League back in the day, but no more. They've been up and down, and now they are back under Scott Parker. They're straight back up, and they have a 33-match unbeaten run in that run in the championship to get back up to the Premier League, which is amazing. Scott Parker, if you want to get into the manager, sir, tell us a little bit about the man.
Yeah, obviously Scott Parker got them back into the Premier League last season after they got relegated under Vincent Kompany in 2022. That was funny. How did he end up at Bayern Munich? What a run there. But Scott Parker, 45-year-old, former England manager. He had obviously a career with promotions at Fulham and Bournemouth, and he was appointed after Kompany's exit. And he was very, very...
England midfielder. He was never the manager of England. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Midfielder of England. When he came in after the exit of Vincent Kompany, tightened Burnley's structure, emphasized defensive discipline and repetition, and like to blend possession with pragmatic risk management. So they're a team that likes to set up in the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1, compact distances between the lines. He likes to advance the fullback selectively and then pivot his screens to reset tempo. You talked about the mid-block. It's the default, and they like to do aggressive engagement in the half spaces. Also, very much around the low block build-up, measure possession with clear exit routes, and the goalkeeper and center back circulate until angles appear. They're very good on counters. They do it targeted rather than constantly. And they also, once again, another one of these teams coming up in the championship, set pieces. One of United's weaknesses, but he's a very good manager. They're a very good team. And they're very good defensively. So this is a game where you don't want to concede early because they're going to be hard to break down. They're going to love to just sit back, like I said, in that low block and just fucking,
they are who we thought they were, sir. They're going to defend low. They're going to counter us. United can't be open in the midfield. We have to get it together. Games versus Burnley, played them quite a bit. 67 games won for United, drawn 25, lost 45. And if we look at the last 5 games, won 3, drew 2, sir. United need to come in with that mentality. It's a result. Now we're in results territory. When you're struggling as much as Manchester United are, it's all about the results. Tell me about the player to watch for Burnley.
Player to watch this week is Lesley Ugochukwu, a highly rated CDM, someone actually I was keeping an eye on. Chelsea sold this summer. They bought him for like £21 million. He's basically your poor man Balaba. High work rate CDM. Very, very physical. I think he's a player to watch. If we lose the game in the midfield, he will be the reason why. the game will be won or lost in the midfield. So Lesley, a player to watch. He's probably the player that you go get after Burnley get relegated and Balaba goes to a higher performing club, because he's a real talent and just speaks to Chelsea having players go out of their ears. Recent record, sir. They started off tough. They got rolled by Tottenham in the league 3-0, and then they had a nice victory against Sunderland at home 2-0, and then yesterday they moved on in the EFL Cup 2-1 against Derby County.
I'm still in shock that we are at it. We're recording this right after the Grimsby Town game. I'm in shock. I'm literally in shock still that we ended up losing. Looking at the Burnley starting 11, Dubravka and Ed came over from Newcastle late. Hannibal Mejbri, you remember that name. You just mentioned the midfielder, but they're playing the 4-2-3-1. Not afraid of any of the Burnley. I'm not focused on Burnley. I am focused on Manchester United, sir. Let's go. What do we think? United starting 11. Let's look at Fulham, our last game in the league. Bayindir in net. I think it's safe to say that Onana is not going to play this game. Luke Shaw, DeLitt, Euro back 3. We had Dogu left wing back, Bruno Casemiro, midfield 2, Diallo right wing back, Mbumo, Mount, and Cunha up front. All those players played. Probably too many minutes, not enough rest for Manchester United. Burnley, they also played midweek, which is good for us because not a lot of teams did. Sir, any changes to this 11?
I'm doing this 11. I mean, I think one of the takeaways from just watching that Grimsby match is that Benjamin Sesko has work to do, top prospect, but he ain't necessarily ready to rock and roll. I think you go for the high press, the Mount Cunha and Mbumo. You don't fuck with the midfield. Ugarte in it. He played a lot today, and you run this back. What do you think, sir? I mean, I think that's my consensus. Is the best we got at the moment.
You got to go Delo. I think the team looked a little more structured. Plus, you have the Amon threat coming on as a sub. I think you start same thing. You don't put Sesko on. It's Cunha and Mbumo. This team looked most dangerous with this front three.
Sure.
You just got to be risk averse right now. You got to win. Cunha and Mbumo and Mount could give them trouble. You put Sesko on as a super sub. Odds. What do we got?
United, the favorites. I don't know if it's been refreshed since the Grimsby defeat, but United, big favorites, minus 310 at home, plus 400 for the draw, plus 700 for Burnley the Builders. Who's up? You're up? I think you're up.
Sir, let's get it. We got match prediction, 94% win for Manchester United. I feel like the Muppets are getting absolutely cooked with the start to the season here. For our predictions, yes, I am up. And man, we need this Burnley win. And I am a Muppet. I'm going to call 2-1 to Manchester United. I think it's a favorite score that we usually predict when we're not confident about this team.
Not confident. What do you got? I'll tell you, I haven't been confident about this team since 2013. 1-0 Manchester United. I think we get a win. I think it's squeaky bum.
Clean sheet.
Bayindir, baby, has a big game.